You ever hear something that sounds like it should just be a story? Something you'd hear around a campfire, told in hushed voices while everyone leans in, half scared and half laughing? That's what I thought when I first heard about the cabin. They called it the Cursed Cabin. Said it stood alone in the woods of northern Vermont. No roads led to it anymore. No one lived nearby. The people in town avoided even talking about it. Not because they were superstitious, but because they'd all heard what happened to the people who stayed there. But this isn't a ghost story. This is real. This is what happened to me. It started when I was looking to get away from everything. City life had worn me down, the constant noise, the traffic, the people always in your face. I just wanted silence. Time to think. I'm a freelance writer, so I figured why not rent a place somewhere remote and get some work done. I found the listing on an obscure site. It was titled Secluded Writer's Retreat in the Woods, Total Isolation. No pictures. Just a hand-drawn map, GPS coordinates, and a short description, a perfect place for peace and quiet. No distractions, no interruptions. It sounded too good to be true, and maybe too creepy to be smart, but it also sounded like exactly what I needed. I emailed the owner. He replied the same night, with minimal information and one rule: stay for at least 3 nights to unlock the full experience. I assumed he meant it as a challenge or gimmick. I was intrigued, not alarmed. That was mistake number 1. I drove up from Boston. The directions brought me to a town called Kettle Pine, the last real civilization before the dirt roads began. It was a small place, 1 gas station, a diner, and a general store. I stopped for coffee and directions. The old man behind the counter spotted the printed map in my hand. His smile dropped. "You headed up that way?" he asked. "Yeah, renting a cabin for a few days." He looked over the map, then back at me. "You don't want to go there. That's Mercer's place. That land's not right. Folks go missing. Weird things happen. Lights in the woods. Screaming in the night. Even the animals stay away." I laughed it off. "Come on. It's just a cabin." He didn't smile. "It don't just haunt," he said, "it keeps." I should have listened. The road got rough fast, gravel turned to dirt, then dirt turned to forest floor. Eventually, I had to park and hike the last mile in. The forest grew thick and heavy, like it was watching me. Every branch seemed to twist in my direction. The air got colder the closer I got. Then I saw it. The cabin stood in a small clearing, half swallowed by trees. It looked ancient, rotted wood, sagging porch, a chimney that leaned like it might fall any second. The windows were dark. No curtains. Just black glass. I stepped inside. The door creaked so loudly it echoed. The interior was dusty but not abandoned. Someone had cleaned it. There were fresh logs by the fireplace, oil lamps filled with fuel, a mattress with clean sheets. Everything screamed prepared. Like someone was expecting me. The first night was quiet, too quiet. No insects. No owls. Just the crackle of the fire. I tried to write, but my mind wandered. The shadows seemed to move. I kept thinking I heard someone walking outside. Around 2 a.m., I heard whispering. At first I thought it was wind. But then I heard my name. Daniel. It was so soft I wasn't sure if it was real or in my head. I stepped outside with a flashlight. Nothing. Just trees and darkness. But the feeling of being watched was overwhelming. I went back inside, locked the door, and sat up all night staring at the fireplace. I woke to find my things moved around. My laptop had been closed and put in a drawer. My bag was zipped up, though I never zipped it. The door was still locked. I chalked it up to my own forgetfulness. That evening, I found scratches on the inside of the bedroom door. They weren't there before. They looked like fingernail marks, for long gouges running down the wood. Not animal scratches. Human. That night, the whispers returned. They were louder. "Don't leave, stay." I covered my ears, curled up in bed, and prayed for morning. The third day, I hiked down the trail for fresh air. About half a mile from the cabin, I saw someone standing among the trees. A woman. Pale. Wearing what looked like a tattered nightgown. She didn't move, just stared at me. I shouted hello. She didn't respond. I took a step toward her, and she vanished. No sound. No movement. Just gone. I ran back to the cabin. That night, something banged on the door. Hard. Over and over. I didn't open it. I couldn't. I just sat there, holding a fire poker, until it stopped. In the morning, I found muddy footprints on the porch. Bare feet. They circled the cabin. Then they disappeared into the woods. I found it on the fourth day, hidden under a floorboard beneath the bed. A journal, old, leather-bound, pages yellowed with age. It belonged to someone named Thomas Mercer. He had lived there in the early 1900s. A recluse. His entries started off normal. Then they turned dark. The forest whispers to me. She comes at night, watching through the glass. The woman with no eyes. I can't leave. She won't let me. Page after page described hallucinations, scratching at doors, disembodied voices, waking up outside the cabin with no memory of how he got there. His last entry chilled me to the bone. She's inside now. She wears my wife's face. I tried to leave. The woods brought me back. If you find this, burn it all. Don't stay. Don't look at her. That's when I decided I had to go. I packed my things in a frenzy. Every few minutes, I thought I heard movement outside. I opened the door and froze. The woman was standing at the edge of the trees, closer now. Her mouth was open too wide. Her eyes, gone. Just black sockets. I slammed the door shut. Tried to find my car keys. But they weren't in my bag. She started whispering again. Daniel. Stay. Forever. The lights dimmed. The fire sputtered. I ran for the back window, smashed it, and climbed out. Branches whipped my face as I tore through the woods. I didn't look back. I couldn't. I found the car. The keys were in the ignition. I swear I hadn't left them there. I drove until I hit pavement. Didn't stop until I was 3 towns away. Back home, I tried to convince myself I imagined it all. That the cabin had messed with my head. But things followed me. I started hearing whispers at night. My laptop would turn on by itself. And sometimes, in reflections, I'd see her. The woman with no eyes. I dug into the cabin's past. What I found was worse than I imagined. Mercer wasn't the only one. Over the decades, others had stayed there. All with similar stories, hallucinations, lost time, strange figures. Some disappeared entirely. The land had once belonged to a woman accused of witchcraft in the 1700s. She vanished into the woods. Locals believed she cursed the forest before she died, or became something else. They say she lures the lonely, the broken. She promises silence and gives them eternity. Some say it's a haunting. Others believe it's something older, a spirit tied to the land. A forest deity turned vengeful. A siren of trees. Others believe it's psychological, that the isolation breaks people. That Mercer went mad, and his madness infects the cabin like mold. Maybe it's all true, maybe none of it is. I'm writing this not for fame, not for attention, but as a warning. The listing is still out there. The cabin is still there. And it's waiting for the next visitor. If you ever see that map, or hear about a secluded cabin in Vermont with no address, run. Don't go looking for it. Because if you do, and you hear her whisper your name, it's already too late.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe